This video is sponsored by His Vessel Academy.
Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about a math tip known as 5 timetables. Now, as an adult, we think this is an easy one. We don't understand why our child's not getting it. And they haven't developed enough strategies yet to actually get what to do. So we're going to today develop some strategies that will help them in the years to come to learn their five timetables for good. So the first thing, I want to break it down. If the end number of any number that's multiplied by 5 is an odd number, like 1, 3, 7, 5, whatever, 5, 7, etc., 9, it's going to be ending in a 5. Now, on the other hand, if it's an even number, like 2, 4, 6, 8, it's going to end in a 0. This is a huge deal. They're not getting it because they don't know where to go. They're not going to then pick for an end number, they're not going to pick 2s, 3s, and 4s. They're going to know it's either a 5 or a 0. And we want to make sure we get this. So let's do a little practice. I'm not asking you to multiply 5 times 6 or 5 times 9. I'm asking you, is it a 0 or a 5 that it ends in? Pause the video and see if you can answer all 3 of these. So let's take a look. 6 is even, so it's going to end in a 0. 9 is odd, it's going to end in a 5. 15, we're going to look at this number right here, is a 5. 5 is an odd number, it's going to end in 5. So I want to make sure if the last digits of 2, 4, 6, or 8, then the number is even, no matter how big it is. If the number is 1, 2, 3, or 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, the number is going to be odd, no matter how big it is. We're only looking at the ones digit. For example, 12 would be 2, so it's an even number. 37 is an odd number because of the 7. 450 is an even number because of the 0, and 93 is an odd number because of the 3. So keep in mind, this rule is for all integers, whether it's positive, negative, or 0. So let's keep going. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is let's break down what actually is the multiplication of these even numbers. We have 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 6 is 30. I want you to notice something about the 2 to the 1, the 4 to the 2, and the 6 to the 3. It's half of the number. Half of 2 is 1, half of 4 is 2, half of 6 is 3. Now we're giving them some strategies to actually learn these math multiplication tables. So in this case, we're going to say, okay, what's half of 2? Well, that's 1, and it's even, so it ends in a 0. What's half of 4? It's 2, and it's even, so it ends in a 0. What's half of 6? 3, ends in a 0, so it's 30. So you try these over here. This is 5 times 8, 5 times 10, and 5 times 12. Did it work? Yes, because half of 8 is 40. There's that 0. Half of 1, oh, look at that, is 5, by the way. 10, or half of 10. We're going to go half of 10 is 5, right? Half of 10 is 5. And we're just going to add the 0 to it. Half of 12. So I was thinking, what do we do with the next numbers, right? What's half of 12? That's right, it's 6. So we would put this. Now, the secret is not as hard as you think. Even with higher numbers, you're just going to half that number and add a 0. So, for instance, 5 times 32, half of 32 is 16. And we just add a 0, so 160 would be your answer. There you go. Now, let's try something a little bit. Now, let's do some practice. Now, these are my own design for flashcards. And they work for some kids, they don't work for others. So if they work for your child, great. Okay, so we're going to try them. So we have 4 times 5, 5 times 4, 4 times 5, 5 times 4. We also have it set with 4 sets of 5, 5 sets of 4, 4 rows by 5 columns, 5 rows by 4 columns. Okay? And hopefully by then they got, oh, it's 20. Because 5 times 4 is 20, and 4 times 5 is also 20. So this way, they don't have to memorize them separately. Let's try to get some less facts in there. What? Let's try some more. Go ahead. And this is 5 times 12. 12 times 5. 5 times 12. 12 times 5. 5 sets of 12. 12 sets of 5. 5 rows, 12 columns. 12 rows, 5 columns. What's my answer? Hopefully you got 60. Because 5 times 12 is 60. Just like 12 times 5 is 60. Got it? What about this one? 5 times 6, 6 times 5, 5 times 6, 6 times 5, 5 sets of 6, 6 sets of 5, 5 rows by 6 columns, 6 rows by 5 columns is, hopefully you got 30 out of that. That's right. This would be 5 times 6, or 6 times 5. All right, let's try this one. 5 times 8, 8 times 5, 5 times 8, 8 times 5, 5 sets of 8, 8 sets of 5, 5 rows by 8 columns, 8 rows by 5 columns. Phew, that's a lot of words. What do I got? Hopefully you got 40 on that one, because 5 times 8 is 40. What about this one? 2 times 5, 5 times 2, 2 times 5, 5 times 2, 2 sets of 5, 5 sets of 2, 2 rows by 5 columns, 5 rows by 2 columns. What is it? 10. Good. 5 times 2 is 10, or 2 times 5 is 10. Either one is works. 5 times 10, 10 times 5, 5 times 10, 10 times 5, 5 times sets of 10, 10 sets of 5, 5 rows by 10 columns, 10 rows by 5 columns. Phew, that's a lot of words. Okay, that is 50. I should have said, did you get it? But half of 10 is 5. Therefore, then I just put a 0 with it. All right, so what strategies can you think of for the odd ones? One of the ideas I came up with, and you might come up with others, and I'd love to hear about them in the chat, is if I have something like 3 times 5, is to subtract 1 from the 3 and make it 2 times 5, and that's 10, but then just add the 5. I know it has to end in a 5, but that may help me knowing which bracket it's in, knowing that it's in the 10, the 10 to 20 bracket, or 10 to 19. So that might help a little bit. Hopefully it does. Creating strategies to solve problems is the easiest way to memorize these fun facts that we have for math, because I know there's so many of them. But creating strategies can take time. Find the strategy that works for you, and don't forget, you need to use it. So let's think of some strategies, and let's see if we can practice some. So we're going to try it. 3 times 5, 5 times 3, 5 times 3, 3 times 5, 5 sets of 3, 3 sets of 5, 5 rows by 3 columns, 3 rows by 5 columns. That's right, this ends up being a 3 by 5. Now, think about this, and it may help you to kind of keep it in your head of 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of like an area. Let's try another one. 5 times 11, 11 times 5, 5 times 11, 11 times 5, 5 sets of 11, 11 sets of 5, 5 rows, 11 columns, 11 rows, 5 columns. What's the answer? Hopefully you got 55. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 11 is across. And we could have done, as I said, 5 times 10, which is 50, and then just added 5 to give me 55. But there are other ways to learn 11 tables too. Those are actually funner. Funner? No, more fun. I'm a math teacher. Okay, so 5 times 9, 9 times 5, 5 times 9, 9 times 5, 5 sets of 9, 9 sets of 5, 5 rows and 9 columns, 9 rows and 5 columns. What's my answer? 45. Hopefully you got that as well. And you can kind of think of it as 5 times 8 is 40 plus 5 gives you 45. That may help a little bit. What about this one? 5 times 5, 5 times 5, 5 sets of 5, 5 rows by 5 columns. That's right, it's 25. Hopefully you got that one as well. And again, we could have used the strategy of 5 times 4 is 20 plus 5 is 25. Just another way of trying to get you to memorize these, okay? 5 times 7, 7 times 5, 5 times 7, 7 times 5, 5 sets of 7, 7 sets of 5, 5 rows, 7 columns, 7 rows, 5 columns. What's my answer? 35. Hopefully you got all of that. And give me a thumbs up so I can make more of these, and I know that you enjoyed it. You have a good day, and I'll see you next time.
At His Vessel Academy, we offer live interactive classes as well as some self-paced courses. Visit hisvesselacademy.com for more information and register today.